a promise, right? And then you say, God, for real? I mean, you got wide eyes and bushy tail. Oh, my goodness, for real, for me? Right? And then God says, but guess what? We're going to do all this for you. And you ask God, well, God, what have you been able to do this before for other people? And he says, no. I never actually fulfilled a promise. I mean, I'm actually trying you. You're like my guinea pig. I want to see if this kind of works. I think that I might be able to fulfill the promises, but don't quote me on this. Right? What if God was saying that? It would be hard to have certainty in that type of relationship, right? Or if you wanted to let your friend borrow a Wii. How many guys played the Wii game, the little thing? I only played it one time, but it's popular with the adults, right? So you got this Wii game, right? And what if your friend wanted to borrow the Wii, and you said, yes, I'll let you borrow, no problem, but I need you to promise me one thing. Your kids are crazy, so promise me that your kids are not going to break my Wii, right? Just promise me. And your friend says, you know what? You're right. My kids are crazy. I can't promise you that. They probably will break it, but can I still borrow it? No, right? Absolutely not, because he can't fulfill the promises. But God has a track record of success. Why do I say that? God promised to bless Abraham, to bless his offspring, to give Abraham kids, to give him land, to make him a great nation. Guess what? All of those promises fulfilled. Now, hold on, not all of the promises were fulfilled in his lifetime. Some of them were, but not all of them. So sometimes we say, well, God, you gave me this promise, but I don't see it coming into fruition. And sometimes when you get a big vision, not all the time, it's not always where you get that vision and it happens in your lifetime. Sometimes God is saying, look, I need you to take this vision. I need you to take the promises that I've given you, and I need you to build the foundation that I'm going to build my church on. Sometimes you have to build it. Look, I feel like God's called me to change the lives of hundreds of millions of people. Will I see that? Maybe, but probably not. But I know right now what I do today, I build the foundation, I build the groundwork that will allow those promises to be fulfilled. So we got God saying that to Abraham. We also got God telling Joseph in a dream, he's saying, look, I said that your brother, the moon, the sun, the stars will bow down to you and you will rule. Guess what? Promise fulfilled. All right, what about Moses? He told Moses to go to the Pharaoh and tell them to let my people go. And Moses said, hold on, wait. Pharaoh ain't going to let my people go? Well, what am I supposed to do? Just walk up to him and say, hey, let them go? And he's going to say, okay, this is his slaves. And God says, hold on, wait, are you doubting me? Hold on. Not only is he going to let them go, he's going to let them go with a strong hand. And guess what happens? Promise fulfilled. Not only did Pharaoh let them go, it says that, and I want to get the exact words, it says with a strong hand, Pharaoh drove them out. So later that promise was fulfilled. God also promised the children of Israel 7 things in Exodus 6 through 8. He said, I will bring you out of the burdens of the Egyptians. I will rescue you from bondage. I will redeem you. I will take you as my people. I will be your God. I will bring you into the land that I promised to Abraham's descendants. I will give you, I will give it to you as your heritage. Guess what? Promises. All of them fulfilled. So what does this say? This says that God has a proven track record of success. And this is what I know. We can sit here all day and kind of name all of the different promises that God has. Man, I'm sweating up here. It's hot. All right. I'm sorry. I'm excited. It's one thing you get in the Word, but you get excited while you're in the Word. Oh, my goodness. You get some other type of some fulfillment. I mean, I'm telling you, I bet you when I leave here, I'm jumping over a building. I bet you. All right. So this is what God promises. God promises that in the past, he's already proven that he's been able to fulfill promises. So some people say, well, in the past he's proven, but that shows the history. It means he has a good credit score. But what about what he's doing in the present? Because God is not a God of yesterday. He's a God of today and tomorrow, right? So here's our God. And God says, not only have I fulfilled the promises yesterday, but today I'm still promising you. God says, I promise you that he will supply your every need. He says, I promise you that my grace is sufficient enough for you. He says, I promise that his children will never be overtaken by the temptation. Instead, assure us that we have a way of escape will be provided. He promises that all things work for good for those who love the Lord according to his purpose. He promises that we'll be the head and not the tail. He promises that we will be above and not beneath. He promises us that we will be lenders and not borrowers. He promises us that if we confess with our mouth and believe in our heart that Jesus raised him from the dead, we will be saved. He promises that we will have everlasting life. God is still fulfilling promises right now. Right now, right? So So this is what God is saying. God is saying, if I have a proven track record of success in the past, what makes you think that I won't fulfill my promises in the future? So here we are, and we understand that one thing we need to trust in the promises of God is certainty. We need to be certain in this relationship. We need to understand that God's relationship with us, he calls us a friend. We're close. We're knit with him. No matter where we are, we're still his friend, right? We need to understand that we have to trust in his ability to fulfill his promises. And here's the last thing. And this is usually the toughest thing for most Christians. This is why I say that. It's because some people are like, I know you're my friend. You know, I know you call me filthy rags, and I know that, I'm only saved because of grace, and I'm not that good, but do I really believe? And that's where people get caught. So this is where the last thing, and when people have this last connection, this is when people say, you know what, I really trust the promises of God. And this is what it is. When they see the fulfillment of the promises in their own life. See, when you see somebody else's promise, it's all right. And it gives you a level of belief. But when you start to feel it in your life, when you start to stop telling other people's testimonies, and stop saying that, God is blessing them, God is fulfilling the promise for them, God is opening doors for them, but you're not feeling it within you, sometimes you start to doubt. But when you start to see the fulfillment of God in for your personal life, oh my goodness, God, look, if you're in bondage, if you're on your knees and you're praying to God, you're saying, God, my lifestyle is broken right now. My marriage is in shambles right now. My financial situation, you promised me that I would get out. And right now, my house is in foreclosure. My car is being repossessed. I just lost my job. What's going on? God, I know my kids, you said that they were going to be, movers and shakers in your kingdom. And now they even turned away from God. They don't even come to church anymore. What do I do? And sometimes we go and we trust our friends. And we say, our friends, I love my friend. And my friend can give me marriage counseling before we go to God. Or we go over here and we say, these books, I know these self-help books. Before I go to God, let me go to these books. I think they can tell me. I trust in that book before I trust in God. Oh, wait, my job is they're going to get me out. My boss, he likes me. So they trust in all of these things. And God is saying, look, put those things to the side. The first thing you need to do is trust in me. I'm going to pull you out. But we're in our brokenness. And we're stuck and we don't know what to do. And God is saying, look, I will fulfill the promises in your life. Matter of fact, let's go into the scripture. He said, show them that they should always pray and never give up. And they should always pray and never give up. So regardless of the situation that you're in, always pray, never give up, right? You're in your brokenness, but you always pray and you never give up. You're asking God, you're saying, look, I'm supposed to be a child of God. I believe in you. I come to church. I do Bible studies. I'm always praying. I'm always reading the word. I'm paying my tithes. I don't know what I'm doing, but he's saying always pray and never give up. Just keep praying. Just keep praying, right? He says worry about nothing, but pray about everything. Keep praying, right? Okay, so what else is God saying? He's saying, and will I not bring you out of justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? His chosen ones who cry out, continue to cry out. Will he not bring justice? And not only will he bring justice, but he will bring it quickly. Wow. He will bring it quickly. All we have to do is keep praying. Trust him.